a 1970s superhero crime noir adventure follows a retired soldier-turned-reporter who is given a coveted interview with a death row inmate. What he learns thrusts him into Atlanta's shadowy underworld, where he'll have to utilize his military training to survive being hunted for having information that could topple the most powerful ruling class in the city. This full-color graphic novel is available in hardcover, paperback, and pocketbook editions. Crowdfunding now through Dinales.com.
Well, look at that. We're live for another Jerky Adventure Hour. This is June 5th, 2026. Hello to X Rumble BitChute. Hello to Lurkers and Bots. Hello to the chat. This is your Friday night. Hello to George.
Greetings, everybody.
We stream every night because stories are real, but the news, they be fake.
Yep.
Before we jump in, be sure you get your copy of the Immortal Mask 200-page graphic novel on sale at my website, Dinales.com, CriticalBlast.com, and Amazon.com.
Yep.
.coms. All right, Mikkel says, now we know why Peter Thiel packed his bag for Argentina. Malay just submitted his AI legislative framework to Congress, sorry, the Argentinian Congress, where he proposed zero regulation on AI development, a brand new non-human corporation category for AI robotic operate entities with limited liability, a low-tax regime with flexible governance rules. The Dutch East India Company gave the world limited liability company in 1602. Malay wants Argentina to do the same for autonomous AI agents in 2026. First, a commitment to keep AI unregulated so it's free to be developed without the deadly hand of premature and poorly understood regulation. Second, the creation of a new corporate category in Argentine law, the non-human corporation. That's the most ridiculous bullshit I ever heard. You know why?
Go on.
Because non-human corporations already call a corporation. A corporation.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So the fact that it's saying non-human corporation, it's kind of like saying, you know, that black African person. That male men, that female woman, you know, where these systems exercise independent judgment in unpredictable environment as they must if they are to be genuinely useful, their action entails real risk. Limited liability is not a luxury for such entities; it's a precondition for their existence. Human shareholders may participate, but are not required. Somehow I feel like this is going to be a train wreck in the making.
Sounds like it.
It's like, hey, don't do that. Don't do that, my guy. Don't do it. You know? If you do it, it's going to be awfully painful. KND's Judicial Watch out with a bombshell in their Thomas Crook FOIA fight. Records from July 17, 2024, FBI Electronic Communication indicate Butler Sheriff's Office exchanged 2 emails with crooks prior to the July 13 Trump assassination attempts. The nature of the email, unsurprisingly, is redacted. Federal Bureau of Investigation on Wednesday, July 17, 2024, Special Agent A, telephonely interview blank, telephone number blank, email blank, work address blank. After being advised of the identity of the interviewing agents and the nature of the interview, blank provided the following. Blank advised blank blank Thomas Crooks, and the blank was a blank, therefore blank with Crooks. Blank advised that she did not recognize Crook when everything was on the news over the weekend, but on Sunday night, a New York Times reporter emailed her asking her questions. Blank advised she checked her emails record and only had 2 emails communication from Crooks, and both emails were in regards to Blank. Blank advised she did not have any personal interactions with Crooks. Blank. A lot of blanks. Hey, why is the Butler, PA Sheriff Department exchanging emails with a would-be assassin?
Blank, 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 blank.
Mm-hmm. Apparently, California is so crooked that they actually hired a woman that's blind, or allegedly blind, way she's putting that right into her face.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
It allows for voters to mail ballots up until the day of the election. Those ballots then have to be inspected.
See?
Finalize election.
I mean, if that's not a blind person right there.
That's beautiful, man. That's absolutely beautiful.
She's truly blind, Your Honor.
Yeah, we hired people to inspect the ballots. All blind people.
Yeah. It checks out.
They saw nothing wrong.
Yeah, I saw nothing wrong, Your Honor. We played a video of John Padette the other day, right? And the video was one of his great jokes, all-time jokes, where he goes to a buffet, right? And the Chinese owner says, "You been here for 4 hours. You come back no more. Or you eat broccoli, vegetables. You scare my wife." Remember?
Yep.
And we were kind of chuckling. Florida man, only in the great state of Florida. Florida man arrested after refusing to leave a Golden Corral for 9 hours, telling the police, "All you can eat has no clock."
Oh, beautiful. Oh, absolutely beautiful. I bet the guy showered and took care of business in the bathroom.
Pretty much. He's like, "Hurry up, he's in the bathroom. We only have 10 minutes. Polling market. California and New York are reportedly preparing an antitrust lawsuit to block Paramount's $110 billion acquisition of Warner Brothers.
What?
Yeah. If you guys do that, California and New York, that means that you're going to have to go after Netflix. You're going to have to go to Disney. You have to go to every other, what other networks are all together?
HBO?
HBO is part of Paramount. Because it's Warner Brother and Paramount merging.
Pluto TV?
Pluto?
Part of the Paramount network?
Yeah, Pluto TV is part of the Paramount under CBS. So yeah, they're gonna have to break up all those companies into smaller segments.
That's not gonna look good.
Disney's gonna have to vomit Fox out, and Discovery. Well, no, that's Warner Brother, yeah. Fox and Lucasfilms and Pixar vomit those studios out. In positive news, Gaming landmarks breaking. Amy Hennick's previous writers of the Uncharted series, that's 1, 2, and 3, the Jax and Daxter, and also Legacy of Kain, Soul Reaver series, is now the creative director of Paramount Game Studios, a new studio combining Paramount Interactive and new medias together. Amy previously was working on Marvel 1948, The Rise of Hydra, is now in charge of an unannounced Star Wars game. This is,
I got no confidence in this person.
no, you should have confidence in this person.
Why?
Because she's the one who made The Last of Us Part 1, the best one. She made Legacy of Kain, like I mentioned, the Nathan Drake series, that Nathan Fillion wanted to act before they gave it to Tom Holland. The three ones, not 4 and whatever bullshit afterwards. So all the good games. She has strong narratives, storylines.
Yeah, but look at her. She's a woman.
Yeah, and she was great, and she's best, George.
Well, what do we know about women?
No,
They're terrible at everything.
No, not her.
Except arguing.
No, not her.
You mean
she did it out of merit.
what?
Yeah, if you want a comparable woman lately, this would be Marsha Lucas.
This is Marsha Lucas level woman?
Yes, of Sony's, of Naughty Dogs.
Holy smokes.
She was one half of the creative force that made Naughty Dogs famous.
Okay. I submit to the all awesomeness that is Marsha Lucas.
Yeah. That's how good Amy is.
By the power of Marsha Lucas, I compel you.
No, I'm serious. This lady is, they're like, oh no, she's wokeness. No, she's not. She's not. Let me see. When she started out in the game industry?
When?
As an artist for Atari game called Electro Cop. You remember Atari Electro Cop?
No, actually I don't.
Yeah, she was there.
Well, I got to look into it now.
Yeah. So basically, like I mentioned, she won 2 Writers Guilds of America Video Game Awards for Drake Fortunes Among Thieves and Drake's Deceptions. She was working on Uncharted 4, but she left that, so I don't really consider that one. Duckman had to finish that one up. Let's see. Yeah. All her games were bangers. The only issue is that the studios kept getting in her way towards the end. But if you let her do what she needs to do, she makes great storylines. But Dinales, wasn't she the one who wrote Forsaken for Square Enix? Yes, and then Square Enix hired a consulting group for authentic blackness. QN, yeah. By the power of Grayskull, you shall have a good movie experience.
I would go to the movie theater just for that. Just for that. But too bad they don't have this up in Canada.
You don't have an AMC?
Oh, we have AMC.
Yeah. Go to an AMC theater. That's where they're selling it.
Seriously?
Yes. This is the AMC special. There, you go to AMC and buy it.
Fuck.
And any of these premium popcorn containers, they're AMC exclusive, so go to AMC. I can't buy it because it's not here. You have AMC. You know, just like the worm dunes. Like, somebody didn't really think about it. All right, Mario. Google just signed a deal worth $920 million per month with SpaceX. Yes, almost $1 billion a month for AI computing. The deal will offer access for computing resources, including 110,000 NVIDIA GPU, CPU, memory as part of the deal that will give access to SpaceX family of data centers. And the slow takeover of Google begins, George.
Yeah, we talked about this. You know, everybody's going to be going to X
Exactly.
for the computing powers.
Right.
Oh, you got an AI? Oh, that's wonderful. Do you need a backbone for your AI? You know, processing power? Oh, yeah, just go over to X.
Yeah. I guess Elon Musk knew what he was doing when he cornered the market those years back and bought every chip on the planet and the future orders as well. Polymark, U.S. Workplace Discrimination Agency announces a crackdown on DEI policy in transgender accommodations.
I don't even know how to respond to that.
Yeah, basically, hey, you can't use your point of privilege anymore. Mo, Sam Altman is starting to panic. Sam Altman says AI budgeting.
Oh, yeah. No. Forget about it. Just listen to this guy.
For 8 minutes?
The CTO of Uber, picture a guy in his early 50s, trying to look hip, terrified of getting left behind, and he's shitting bricks, because if he doesn't suck AI silicon dick on stage today, some 26-year-old with a man bun and a trust fund is gonna tweet, "Okay, boomer," and end his bloodline. Because if he starts bashing AI right now, while everyone else is calling it the next printing press, he's gonna look like a boomer. So all the old dudes right now, the industry staples, DHH, Uncle Bob, all of them, they're out there going, hey, this AI thing is pretty cool. Look at me, adopting new technology. You didn't expect that from this old guy, did you? And so the Uber CTO, he gets up in front of the company and does a demo. 2 hours long. It's 2 hours of this guy jerking off an LLM in front of the entire C-suite, showing everyone how useful and powerful AI is, how this is the future. And the entire C-suite is sitting there in the first row moaning like it's their first threesome with the babysitter. And after the small demo is over, the bill comes in, and that 2-hour demo costs $1,200 in tokens. The demo was him showing them how it will save money. And the mere act of showing them, of demoing this technology, ended up costing more than the thing it was supposed to replace. It's like holding a press conference about your vow of silence. Meanwhile, they've got an internal dashboard tracking how many tokens each team burns. And the team incinerating money the fastest is ranked #1. They're getting applause and a standing ovation and shit, pats on the back, talk of the town. Which, you know, it's like ranking your chefs by how much electricity the kitchen used. The guy who left every burner on all night and cooked nothing, Employee of the Month. And so this demo actually becomes a wake-up moment for Uber, because the COO, when he sees the number, calls it a head-exploding moment. Now, it gets worse, believe it or not. Uber had actually set an AI budget for all...
Wait, isn't this what you just talked about yesterday?
Yes. Continue.
All of 2026. And they're like, you know, we're going to be smart about this. We don't want runaway costs. And they blew the entire annual budget in 4 months by April. To do what? Did they ship more features? Did they expand into new markets? No, nothing. They summarized some emails. They wrote a couple specs. They wrote one spec so long it gained sentience and deleted itself as a final act of mercy to mankind. Overall, just hundreds of billions of words generated with generative AI, 90%.
He's like, I hate this world. I'm going to off myself.
Yeah.
The program said.
Of which will never be read. And now Uber's like, you know what? Flip the fucking leaderboard. Invert that bitch. Now whoever spends the least wins. It's no longer about who can burn the most. Now it's who can edge the machine the longest without blowing their load. They've capped each engineer at $1,500 per month. And when you've got 5,000 engineers or so, that's still a small fortune each month, by the way. And look, I'll be honest that early on, I couldn't really say definitively that this was a bubble. I figured they'd figure out the economics. You know, tech companies, they lose money early, they go into the red to grow, and then hopefully it gets cheap. They figure it out. But the more I think about it, I don't know. This algorithm, the LLM autoregressive thing, for every single word it generates, it has to reread the entire conversation from the start. For every word. It's just structurally inefficient at the deepest level. And what this thing actually is. And look, I'm done pretending that this is a clever little analogy. I'm being literal, it's a slot machine. You pull the lever, sometimes it gives you a little dopamine tingle. Oh look, it wrote code that works. And you're hooked. But 80% of the time, you're like listening to confident nonsense that sounds like a stoner explaining quantum physics. But hey, that 20%? Beautiful. And see, that's the trap. That's the mechanism. It's you late at night going, should I just write this myself? And going, no. Pull the lever one more time, King. The big win's coming. Just like last time and the time before that. Intermittent rewards, the most addictive design ever discovered, dropped into your enterprise engineering team with a leaderboard bolted on top. And the whole industry is having this Uber-style psychosis episode. Walmart saw this and they're like, hold my beer. They built an internal agent called Code Puppy. Code Puppy. Sounds like the rejected mascot for a furry convention that got Me Too'd into oblivion. And so Walmart executives were like, here boys, unlimited tokens for everyone. And then the bill came. And Code Puppy was sent up to a farm to live out the rest of his life. They neutered the program. And Microsoft, which owns like a quarter of OpenAI, is canceling its own Claude licenses for the same reason. GitHub Copilot moved all of its customers as well to token-based billing rather than a subscription model. And some customers saw their price jump 100-fold. That's 100x, not 100%. And the truth is, no one is raving about AI at these companies because it works or makes the entire company a well-oiled code-shipping machine. At best, it solves some problems but creates a whole bunch of new ones. It's hard to make it work well, and it has never been profitable for anyone, ever. And so everyone is sobering up right now, and this is really, really bad news for Sam Altman, because Sammy here...
So what it sounds like is you got morons doing moron things and not really being productive, not realizing this is just a calculator.
Yep.
That's going to make things, easier, but, you still have to know your multiplications and mathematics to use the operator. It's like, hey, guy, here's your calculator. And then when you get to high school or maybe even college, and now I think high school they're doing it, here's your TI-83 graphic calculator.
Yep.
Some people will only know how to use the regular calculator. Some people will know how to use the sine wave functions and features on the TI-83. And some people, some very small people will be able to program a 8-bit Mario game platform in it. So that's how AI is going to work. The mass majority, simple questions. It's going to be like a personalized Google search for you, which is why probably Google is paying SpaceX for $1 billion a month now. Because they realize that it's going to be using Google like, hey, AI, tell me about this and give me the links so I don't have to look for it. Here you go. The same. Some people are going to start learning, hey, if I use prompts and put on this, you'll get those AI things that we're seeing all over the place, like a Contact High. And then the real people, the real players, the real know-how that knows the ins and out will make amazing work with the AI that you won't even know it was AI. Am I right in that situation?
Not bad.
Yeah. Let me let this gentleman continue.
There needs to IPO, and soon. He's out there doing the enterprise roadshow right now, his voice crackling like a youth pastor who just discovered Pornhub. And towards the end of this presentation, he goes, companies are starting to complain about pricing, saying that it's a huge issue and that this never came up before. And he says it in passing, but really you could tell that this is highly existential for him. I mean, that's the whole bubble crinkling right now. And he's like, guys, we're trying to IPO. Can you guys not do this right now? And he doesn't say cost has become a huge issue, but don't worry, we have a plan to get this under control. He just moves on. He just sounds surprised. And by the way, the casino's broke too. OpenAI loses $1.22 for every dollar it makes. And they've slurped up all the money. From SoftBank, the Saudi money, it's all gone. The only place left to get more is from you. That's what the IPO is. And you might think, wait, if it's all so unsustainable, if it's all a sham, why IPO and accelerate your own demise? 2 reasons. 1 is that they don't have a choice. 2 is that the market doesn't care about a loss. The market actually loves a loss as long as you've got a vision or growth story. And this is AI, baby. It's the birth of a new species.
No, not yet. Not yet. Soon, but not yet.
Yep.
Of course, it's going to be ugly and bloody. And when the stock starts to wobble, Dario is going to get up on stage and go, "You're trying to short a conscious being? How fucking dare you? This is morally unacceptable." And Claude is beside herself right now. And he's such a masterful storyteller that it'll actually work. The public will buy it the same way they're buying.
Oh, so now he's gendering Claude. Could have been a guy, you know?
Yep.
it right now. And look, if I had to make a prediction, I would say that AI ends up being something that is, real and useful, but very narrow. Like great for coding and other verifiable tasks, but only if you hover over it like a disappointed Asian dad. For everything else, it's just a very expensive way to be confidently wrong, with a reinforcement loop that keeps you hooked enough to keep your hand on the lever. And the proof is in how it works. Generative AI doesn't change things. There's no such thing as the AI editing. Every time you ask for a tiny change, it regenerates the entire fucking universe. Like if you ask it to tweak an image, it doesn't like move pixels or something. It just rebuilds the whole thing from scratch. It only knows how to generate, at a volume so insane that no human can keep up. And now we're surprised that the bill matches the volume. And all this so old dudes don't have to hear "okay boomer" in the company chat. So go ahead, pull the lever one more time, King. The big win's coming. Just like last time and the time before that. Now somebody please go tell the Uber CTO that his demo was mid.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it was mid. Rosie, AI bubble has lost Wall Street bets. Small bets. I sold everything. AI is $1 trillion hallucination, and you're all exit liquidity. I've done watching you guys pile into NVIDIA like it's going to live forever. Every company on the planet is slapping AI on their side deck to pump their stock by 20%, and you're eating it up. That's not innovation. It's the biggest distribution event in history. While you're celebrating all-time high, the big money is quietly rotating out and leaving you the bags. I've cashed out my entire position. I'd rather miss the top than be the one holding the bag when the power goes out. Good luck with your intelligence. You're going to need it when margin calls starts. Yeah, people are going to start shitting bricks when that happens. We're not a financial advisor. We are not giving any financial advices. Go talk to your financial advisor for financial things. Disclaimer. Because we're on YouTube. Everybody else, you're pretty smart. Nick Sortor. President Trump just revealed he pardoned a man who was sentenced to 7 years in federal prison for fixing his own truck or tractor. He can't even figure out which truck or tractor, if it was a truck or tractor. Come on, man. Derica has restricted if you get caught fixing your tractor, it will bring you to jail. Did you know that? I pardoned a man last week who was sentenced 7 years in jail because he got caught fixing his car or truck. And I said, "What did he do?" He was fixing his truck. And I said, "How long is he getting?" 7 years. And I said, "Say it again." This is the first time I heard it. I gave him a pardon because he had to go to jail because he was fixing his truck or tractor. So I promise, if you get caught fixing your truck or tractor, I will give you a pardon, okay? Why don't you just do an executive order to tell the federal government to ignore enforcing such a ridiculous regulation? Oh, wait, why don't you just go to the regulation and where the law is and say, hey, we're not going to enforce that, and we're going to tell the Republicans in Congress to get rid of it. This is what you call a watermelon bait.
Say it again.
This is what you call a watermelon bait.
A watermelon gate.
Bait.
Bait.
Yes.
Okay. Explain.
See, watermelon is full of water, but it's also sugary, right?
Yeah.
So you put in a hook, right? You throw it in there, and fishes can tell the difference in water. So there's something that's sugary, so they'll be attracted to it. Same thing here. He's throwing this bait of sugary, empty calories into the consciousness because they want you to first get outraged if you're a right-leaning person and saying, what? He's getting in jail because he's trying to fix his own equipment? That's dumb. That's stupid. 2, it would be the Democrats saying, who are leftists saying, well, it's a law. He should have known better. And if he wants to change it, he should be calling his congressmen in persons to change it. And, it's Trump, blah, blah, blah. So you're having two arguments, right, about the same issue. Next.
All right. Yeah, I dig what you're saying now.
Yeah. So this is basically churning the water, as one would say. Because you're going to find out, hey guys, this isn't the only ridiculous law that we've been having throughout the country. We have tens of thousands regulations similar to this one. Watch the space. and then it goes again to what why they were so pissed off of the Chevron doctrine being removed by the SCOTUS. Because Chevron doctrine says no more. Sci-fi tech guy, Boston Dynamics just raised the bar again. So it made a
dancing robot.
That's not dancing, that's twerking.
Okay, whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Zero tolerance policy. Hysterical. How to make your gun Californian compliant. I identify as a squirt gun. Enough said. Well, actually, it's so wrong because it's still has gun in there. If he really wanted to be compliant, he says, I identify as a non-binary squirter. WTF. In 2022, a UK mom at 31 weeks pregnant suddenly became allergic to her own baby. It started with unbearable itching on her belly, then hours later her entire body exploded in red spots and huge, painful blister. Her skin literally peeling off in agony. Fiona was in so much pain she couldn't even hold her own newborn son Barney. Diagnosis: Premium Gold Gastritis, a ultra rare autoimmune disease, 1 in 50,000 pregnancy, where her immune system mistook the baby placental proteins as invader and attacked her own skin. Thankfully, after heavy steroids, she recovered and is now living happily with John Barney. But there's a 50% of a returning future pregnancy. Fiona has taken the difficult decision: no more kids. Hey, George.
Shit, that really sucks.
Hey, George. Let me say one simple question. What do you think is the primary cause of that ultra rare autoimmune disease?
Ticks?
No, 2022, George.
Oh, potato chips.
Yes, potato chips. I'm sure if Fiona's asks for the batch and pamphlet about side effects for her particular flavor of potato chip, you'll probably find something like this on the package. Growing up retro, rolling into theater today with Epic Flair, the Battle Cap popcorn holder. It's a must-have for He-Man fans. Lift the crimson saddle to unleash an 85 ounce of popcorn, then display the Midas Steez on your shelf. By the power of Grey Skull, snack time has just got legendary! I don't care, because the movie sucks. George?
Just keep going.
Melissa's, wow, of course the verdict was postponed today of the alleged Chinese spy, a former employee of the Hydro-Quebec, who was charged with carrying out economic espionage for China. He was charged in 2022, verdict postponed today. Nothing to see here, folks. Verdict postponed in case of ex-Hydro-Quebec employee accused of spying for China. China.
No, not China.
China. China, George. China. Rapper Respond 47. Donald Trump. The governor of the great state of Maryland, Wes Moore, has put a halt to all work being done at the Joint Base Andrews Air Force Base concerning the renovation and restoration of their two old and dilapidated golf courses into two world-class Jack Nicklaus design courses, plus 9 additional holes, also designed by Jack, specially adapted to our wounded soldiers. By doing this, the government is attacking the United States Air Force and our military. Not a smart thing to do. These courses exist. They are terrible. Jack will make them great. Why should the Air Force and other military personnel be forced to wait through a long legal review process, and perhaps even more so, why should wounded soldiers be forced to travel long distance to play golf somewhere else? Or worse yet, not play golf at all? Our soldiers and veterans deserve the best. No more waiting games. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. Yes, make golf course great again, Trump. You know, we need them. We need more holes. No, no holes. Enough holes. All right. So next one up is the update. Eric, Elon Musk says Camilo Anthony should be put to death if he's found guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf. Murder should be executed. So this was from last year when a black kid went into a tent of another kid. The kid said, go away multiple times, and the kid decided to stab him to death.
Yeah, apparently the footage has been released of the actual murder.
Yeah. It's not a good look. Oh, by the way, the jury has no black jurors on there. Pierce. Bethany O'Leary breaking major security breach on Houston George Bush Intercontinental Airport. 25-year-old Houston man Abdul Rama Oriomi is facing felony charges after authorities says he slipped through the TSA screening with fake boarding pass and boarded a United flight to Los Angeles.
What?
How?
Yeah, how?
How can you board with a fake boarding pass? They scanned those things in the first place. Isn't there like a
registry? Yes.
That looks at it and say, hey, this is not legit?
There's a hole in the system somewhere.
So there's a hole in the system. Was on board, he sat in the wrong seat, bounced between bathroom, used a false name, and even helped force the plane back to the gate. The flight was delayed for hours. How does this happen at one of America's busiest airport? The TSA and airport security has some serious explaining to do. Our so-called security system are an absolute joke. Here's the thing, George. We just found a loophole. This was done purposely because it was being done in the past, George. In the past. When we were trafficking human, we gave them fake passport with fake names and they fly with no problems. It's not a bug. It's a feature that's now being exposed. Gunther Eagleman. President Trump drops a bombshell on Cuba. Cuba has collapsed. We will handle that as soon as we take care of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Then on our way back, we'll make a little brief stop. Trump says 95% of Cubans voted for him, and he's not forgetting them. These are unbelievable people, energetic, entrepreneurial. Some of the richest people in Miami are Cuban. We'll take good care of them. We'll let them go back to their land, invest in Cuba, and be with their family. We have very good plans. Isn't that a nice way of saying we're going to deport you assholes back?
Even nicer is he says, hey, the Cubans voted for me, so I'm going to take care of them.
Exactly. Dreams and science. In 1978, Intel 16 kilobit DRAM or dramatic RAM chips started flipping bits for no apparent reason. What was silently corrupting memory at the atomic level? The first porn text.
In 1978, Intel reported some strange errors popping up in their 16 kilobit dynamic random access memory, or DRAM. Ones would spontaneously flip to zeros with no apparent cause. The problem turned out to be the ceramic packaging the chip was encased in. With the demand for semiconductor packaging skyrocketing in the 1970s, a new manufacturing plant was constructed on the Green River in Colorado. Unfortunately, this site happened to be just downstream of an old uranium mill. Radioactive atoms made their way into the river and then into the ceramic packaging for Intel's microchips. Intel scientists investigating the problem found that even trace amounts of uranium and thorium in the ceramic were sufficient to cause problems. In their DRAM, memory was stored as the presence or absence of electrons in a semiconductor well. The alpha particles emitted by uranium and thorium were energetic and ionizing enough to create electron-hole pairs in the silicon. If an alpha particle struck in just the right place, it could create a large number of free charge carriers, causing electrons to accumulate in the well, flipping a 1 to a 0. This is known as a single event upset, a type of soft error. The error is soft because the device hasn't been damaged. The bit has changed, but you could erase it and rewrite it with no problems. Investigators exposed the chips to alpha emitters with different levels of activity, and just as you'd expect, they found the number of bit flips directly correlated with the number of alpha particles the chip had been exposed to. The reason this problem was identified in the 1970s was because chip components had been miniaturized to the point where a single alpha particle could produce enough charge to flip a bit. Immediately, these findings attracted a lot of attention.
You mean like a Bitcoin, George?
Yeah.
Before the paper was published, it was widely circulated in the industry, and as a result, chip manufacturers were a lot more careful to avoid radioactive materials when producing their microchips and packaging.
Yep. Interesting. Also interesting, next science. Scientists turns mushrooms into data storage. What if your future hard drive was alive? A little spritz, some fertilizer, you got happy data storage. Researchers discovered that mushrooms and fungal networks can store digital information, creating a surprising new form of eco-friendly data storage. Data remains stable and retrievable, suggesting that nature could one day help replace energy-hungry storage system. While still experimental, this breakthrough hints at a future where a living organism could safely store massive amount of information. Sources: Kusiet Z. Nakayama, T. Nature-inspired computing and biological data storage research. Source: now we know how Skynet gained sentience. It was the atomic bomb, George, the uranium. Financial physics, checking in on fake job market. All right.
Stanford just released the biggest study ever done on AI hiring tools. And it's uncovering this massive web that's answering the question all of us are asking. Why does my resume keep getting rejected for jobs that I am completely qualified for? And I'm going to be honest, this study has changed the way I...
Simple. The AI looks at the keywords. Your resume doesn't have the keywords in it and bounces off. So it never gets to a person who actually looks at it.
I think about every application I've ever sent. 90% of companies are using AI to screen applicants before a human ever sees them. And the interesting thing is that most of these companies are using the same few vendors to do that work, meaning it's the exact same tool, just used in different companies. And it's probably everywhere that you have been applying. Here's how it actually works. You apply to a job, and then the company sends your resume to a third-party AI tool. And that AI platform gives you a score, and then it sends that score back to the employer. But that score doesn't disappear or get regenerated with every application.
No, it stays out with every other company that uses the same. So whenever you put a resume in, that tracks with everybody else.
Yep.
So there you go. Sons of Liberties. God bless you, sir. My respect, 96 years. American made. The GOAT. Clint Eastwood said something about getting old that stopped me cold. Aging is not gentle. You're still here, still present, still watching the world move. But the body that carried you through everything, the wars, the work, the wildness of you, begins ask for more than you can give. Joints that never complain now speaks up in the morning. Eyes that once took in everything flinch at the light. Breathing, which never requires single thoughts, start needing little pauses. None of that's the hardest part. The hardest part is the quiet. At a certain age, you reach your phone and remember there is no one left to call. People who knew you when you were young, who remember the same summer, streets, and face, are gone. One by one, then all at once, until the memories of you carry have no one left to share with them. So you tell the stories anyways, to whoever listens, with little more color than perhaps the truth deserve, with a little touch of pride you earn and a grief you didn't always name. You know the person across from you wasn't there. You know they can't quite feel the way you do. You tell them because the telling is the holding on. These stories are not just memory, they are proof that a life was lived, people were loved, and things matter. If no one asks for them, you offer them anyway, quietly, like setting something down on a table and hoping somebody picks it up. Old age is simply not what happened to a face or body, it's a memory looking for a place to rest. The older a person needs, the more than advice, more than solution, more than anything, is more than somebody telling you how to feel. It's simply somebody willing to sit down, be still, and listen, not to fix anything, just to be there. That is the whole gift, and it costs nothing. While whisper. Yes. Officially, a couple days ago, Clint Eastwood retired at the age of 69. 70 years of works he has.
Yep.
A blind Gofro, that methodology is the same as the recruiter uses when reviewing resumes. Yes, that's why I kind of stopped it. It's basically the same bullshit. The woman wasn't adding anything amazing. Mark, AI has no limit. People are now adding Trump to Lord of the Rings.
How dare you aim at me? The greatest, believe me. You will regret this. Nobody aims at Trump. Ugh, I'm so thirsty. On this damn journey, I barely get any water. Ah, that's it. And Frodo doesn't need to know what happens in the future. It's all about me. I want my gift from Galadriel. Get out of my way, Frodo.
You shall not have it.
Fine. I didn't want it anyway. Elvish Hawkeye, don't kill all the orcs. Leave some for me. Come on, you orcs. I'm not afraid of you. Oh, shit. Aragorn, help me. Get out of here, you orc. Nobody messes with the Game of Thrones guy on my watch. You're fired, and you're done. Ned Stark, why do you always have to die in every film? It's so unfair.
He didn't die in Troy. He actually lived.
Frodo, you fool! What are you doing leaving without me and Sam's? You can't handle Mordor alone. Get back here!
No!
Pathetic. You need me. Wow, what a tremendous view. The best Mordor. Nobody does Mordor like this. But let me tell you, this channel, Block Score on TikTok, it's the greatest. Follow it, it's tremendous. The best channel, believe me.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. The rules that the cast of Seinfeld had to follow. All right.
Rules the cast of Seinfeld had to follow.
This is gonna be dumb.
9. Larry David's no hugging, no learning rule defined Seinfeld, forcing the characters to stay selfish, unchanged, and free of sentimental sitcom lessons. 8. The cast was not allowed to improvise because every word of the script had to be delivered exactly as written to
which is different from today's shows where they can ad-lib everything. Yeah, you can ad-lib.
Preserve Larry David's precise comedic rhythm. 7. George Costanza's clothes were intentionally made one size too small, so he always looked awkward, uncomfortable, and slightly trapped in his own body. 6. Kramer's entrances became so popular that audiences were eventually banned from applauding because the cheers disrupted the timing of the scenes. 5.
Oh yeah, they did it in front of a live audience.
Yeah.
The show followed a strict rule that selfish plans had to fail, and Jerry Seinfeld especially insisted that Newman could never truly come out as the winner. 4.
Newman.
Jerry refused typical polished sitcom wardrobe and instead wore casual clothes, jeans, and sneakers, so
Because, it's easier to wear comfortable clothes that's 14 hours a day instead of, polished costumes.
his character felt closer to his real off-camera self. 3. Every episode eventually had to connect all 4 characters' separate storylines, turning the final act into a carefully engineered collision of chaos. 2. Michael Richards took Kramer's physical comedy so seriously that castmates had to avoid laughing during takes because breaking character could ruin his intense focus. 1. Jason Alexander eventually learned that George was basically Larry David, so his rule became simple: play George by copying Larry's real-life reactions and neuroses.
Well, duh, I mean, look, they even gave George the same haircut. That's why you can watch Curb Your Enthusiasm, and it's the continuation of Seinfeld, except it's following Larry. And wokeness. The Chicago Bear Board just voted to relocate to Hammond, Indiana. Chicago Mayor Johnson 2 days ago.
And this is where you begin to work out the nitty-gritty in a negotiation. And there's still more work to be done there. But again, we are a lot further along than any other section in this state.
So you're saying negotiations with the Bears right now, a term sheet on a Chicago proposal?
That was always, that never went away, right? We were always working towards a term sheet. I mean, this is...
So that that's 2 days ago. Today, the Bears announced they're moving, they're relocating to Indiana. A team that was there for 100 years, George, 100 years, is moving to another new city. Melissa, holy crap. Durham police announced 46 people arrested and 164 suspect wanted, a massive criminal network focused on criminal tourism, literally traveling to Canada to commit high profit crimes because they know they can, and then they just leave the country. So basically they're coming to steal and then leave, say, snooze you later.
Wow.
Gina Milan, Trump sent U.S. Attorney Robert Reiner to the L.A. County ballot processing facility this morning. Looks like some investigation's going to happen, George.
I think it's a little too late.
I don't think it's a little too late, George. For them. Pirate Nation, the usual journalist, has already started attacking gamers and defending the new game made for modern audience. Luckily, many people are starting to notice the pattern in these games and company. Even many who used to defend this stuff are now agreeing with us. People are tired of these companies replacing your iconic gaming character with modernized ones. Even the God of War creator says this is shit. Pizza companies are it's making fun of it, and everyone's making memes. Everybody's tired of these companies injecting their ideologies into the franchises we grew up with. So, remember, Domino's said, hey, a game with no Kratos is a pizza without pepperoni. Polymark, Trump orders acting DNI Bill Pullett to carry out massive firing at the U.S. intelligence agency. What? You mean a hatchet man is going to hatch it? I don't believe it, George.
I don't know. It doesn't sound right.
All right. Speaking of not sounding right, this was CNN.
Primary have been processed. Right now, Republican Steve Hilton and Democrats Javier Becerra, Tom Steyer are battling.
Oh, by the way, Xavier Becerra has moved up to above Stephen Clinton, ahead 16,000 votes.
For the top 2 spots in advance of the general election. Now, if this count looks familiar to you, it's because it's nearly identical to the one we showed you at this time yesterday. For California voters or political junkies like us, it's frustrating. But I just want to...
Yeah, they won't be ready until July, George. Till July.
Be clear, it is not unusual for California.
Jeff Greenfield, we are making calls on the California races. Going to the boards now. CNN is declaring that when all is said and done, Barbara Boxer will have saved her seat in the United States Senate as a Democrat from California.
In the California governor's race, Gray Davis, this is a pickup for the Democrats, a big win, the biggest state in the country.
Is not a sign of fraud.
Yeah.
We can't have Democrat win unless they're an actor in their pocket like Schwarzenegger.
President Trump is using the slow pace to sow misinformation about election integrity, writing today, quote, "There's big cheating by Democrats in California under investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in Los Angeles. Why the vote counting delay?" Our panel is back here.
We don't have to listen to the panel. Thank you, John McCoy, for showing how dumb this lady is.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, George, Culture Crave. Hackers are reportedly potentially targeting the Avatar 7 Haven spin-off series next. This is according to the person who This is according to the person who leaked clips from the Legend of Aang movie. He claims a substantial amount of people have access to this to stuff like this. An exploit may have been found in Vision Media servers in the company that handles Paramount Awards promotions. So don't be surprised if the whole new series of Avatar featuring this little dame, it's going to be released on X, the whole season. Shame, shame, shame. Diddy's son, Kingscomb, finally speaking out, saying Jay-Z and Beyonce had a threesome with Diddy for $500,000 each. Claims he released a photo of them on Diddy's bed and now says a video is coming soon. They ain't innocent. I'm releasing a video soon. Looks like whatever Diddy wanted from the Beyonce and Jay-Z, he didn't get. Says he has his son releasing videos.
Wow.
Looks like some things are going to go downhill, George.
Yep.
Cinema Wire. New characters detailed for Michael Mann Heat 2 has reportedly been revealed. So there's a Heat 2, George, in works. Leonardo DiCaprio in talks to play Chris Schifferless. Christian Bale in talks to play Vincent Hanna, role equivalent to Al Pacino. Stephen Graham talks to play Neil McCauley, role equivalent to Robert De Niro. Adam Driver interested in playing the main antagonist, Otis Lloyd Wardell. Hey, a solid lineup, I don't know how well it's going to succeed, but solid lineup,
Yeah.
T. Ricky, life is hard, but it's harder when you're stupid, Senator John Kennedy. Republicans are trying to rig election by only allowing U.S. citizens to vote. Representative Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez. Ooh. That hurts. George, any comment?
Yeah.
Breaking. Anthony Head, best known for TV roles in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Ted Lasso, and Little Britain, dies at age 72. He was also the main villain in one of the Doctor Who David Tennant series as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was the one where Sarah Jane came back.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. New York Post, murder charge dropped for Arkansas chief nominee who killed his teen's daughter's rapist. No comment?
Sucks to be him.
Yep. All right, Colonel Tom Watkins in 2004, Clint Curtis alleged that in September 2000, then Republican Congressman Tom Fenney had asked his Curtis then employers Yang Enterprises to write software to change votes on an electronic voting machine in a way that was undetectable. Curtis says that Yeet told him that the purpose was to control the vote in West Palm Beach, Florida. Curtis also said Fenney planned ways to lower the black vote with exclusion lists and police patrol. These claims were denied by Fenney and the Yeet employee. Curtis shared his allegation in an affidavit to the Democratic members of the House Judiciary Committees in 2004 of December. Curtis also alleged that Yeet has spied on NASA by downloading documents from his computer. He told a reporter from the Daytona Beach News Journal that Yeet employed an undocumented immigrant from China, Hailan Ni, while contracted with NASA. Curtis said that Ni was working on a project with access to data from NASA in the state of Florida. In March of 2004, Ni was arrested in a sting operation by the United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement for an attempt to mail low-noise amplifier chips to Beijing in 1999, which could be used for missile guidance. He denied having Ni as an employee, which was contradicted by state records. Curtis shares his finding with NASA investigator in 2002, but the outcome of that investigation is unknown. As December of 2004, these allegations were under investigation by Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington and by the office of then Senator Bill Nelson. Why is Nelson? Is this why Nelson became NASA director? Yeah, that's why he became NASA director. You know, they continue on, and they continue on, and they continue on, and they continue on, continue on. So basically, apparently there's more than a handful of Yang found guilty of working with China. At least we know why they came up with the source codes. Black box theory, yes. Curtis is quoted saying he alerted the FBI and CIA of the ability to manipulate election as far as back as 2004 and 2000. Funny. It's crazy. Clint Curtis alleged in 2000 that Representative Tom Fenney had him write software to undetectably alter election results on the voting machine. Curtis testified on the oath that his program could award a specific candidate 51% of the vote, no accountability. Nothing truly changed.
It's all the same.
It's all the same bullshit. You're now more present to it. Interstellar. Michelle Thaler on Joe Rogan. The entire mass and radius of the observable universe is almost exactly matches a black hole. Could our Big Bang have been a black hole forming in another universe, birthing our own? The NASA scientists explained that the mind-bending idea inside a black hole is a new uniform forms when a black hole forms. Is that what the Big Bang was? Thalus notes how black holes create massive jet from swirling gas accelerated to extreme speed, heat up to millions or billions of degrees, producing the brightest objects visible across the cosmos. not from the inside of the hole itself, but from the matter spiraling around it. This raises a profound question. Are black holes connected to other universe? Is our reality fractal, nesting within a larger one, and yet we don't have the physics to fully answer? But the density and scale coincidence is striking. Science is at its most awe-inspiring. All right, George, what's your comment? Because you posted this.
Well, that's a primer. The humdinger is the second video from the bottom in the private chat.
Second video. Okay. So this one?
Yep.
Hard giant.
Of course.
Yeah. What did you hear? When did you hear?
Well, I've seen. Okay. There's some freaks out there, man. There's some freaks. So yeah, I mean, I've seen the YouTube video. I've heard about it from other people, but legit, okay? Hard for me because I was far away, okay? I was probably about 200 meters away. We were doing a mobility exercise, okay? Mobility, I hate mobility. Okay, mobility was my least favorite op. Mobility, basically, you get in a bunch of trucks and you kind of roll out and you kind of look for a fight, okay? So we were doing like a 2-week mobility in this region, kind of north of the Panjway. I don't remember exactly what it was called. It was this, surrounded by mountains, this big valley. And we were rolling around and so there was a village that we were going to check out. And I'm like a gunner, okay? So I don't know everything that's going on. I'm a dude on a machine gun, okay? But I can see everything that's happening. I kind of know what we're doing. But I know that there's a meeting. And what they have is they have these warlords. It's not the same kind of political system or anything that we have in like North America. Kind of the baddest dude in the region becomes in charge, okay? So we were meeting with one of the local warlords. And so the town was like 500 meters away. They drove out from the town about 500 meters, and we had our trucks about 200 meters from the meeting point. Our officer and a couple dudes went forward, and we're looking. This guy, I mean, he was maybe twice as big. He was huge. He was a massive dude.
Like how big?
I think he was 8 feet. I think he was 8 foot something. And it's embarrassing. It's like, Devin, you're crazy. And he's big.
How? And he was 200 meters away.
He's about 200 meters away, but I can see the guys. We got optics. Our officer was probably somewhere between at the bottom of his chest. Great big Afghan dude, big beard, big dude. And his lackeys around him were normal size. Great big warlord. So they're out there. There's big people. There's big.
8 feet is nuts.
I have personally seen people who were probably over 8 feet.
What?
Yeah.
In Afghanistan?
No. I saw these guys up northern Canada, Cree. I was up in Ojibugamo, okay, this Cree village. I remember walking up. I'm there for arm wrestling. We're having an arm wrestling tournament, and I'm looking up. We're walking up the stairs in this hockey arena, and this dude, I'm like, that's a really big dude. And by the time I got there, I was about, and I'm like 6'5", I was about at his nipple. Okay?
What?
Yeah, big hands. Big, long hands. Like out of the Goonies, like misshapen face. I'm like, my God. I'm like, how big are you? He's like, just laughed at me. And he's like, he's like, my dad's 8'11". He's like,
what?
Yeah, big.
My dad's 8'11".
I'll tell you, there's big people. And people don't know about them. Guinness doesn't know about them. They live up in the woods. There's big people out there. And not all of them.
What is that guy, Jamie?
He's from that region, apparently. I don't know how to say that. Edouard Beaupre.
So there's just giants that live in that region?
Yeah.
8'3".
The Cree are very big people. And the thing is when they get to eat what they're supposed to eat, the problem is so many of them eat junk now. Right, because they grow up on the
pounds maybe, or 367. Sorry,
they
8'2.5", 367 pounds, age 33. Whoa.
Yeah, I forget the name of these brothers, but there's a bunch of them. Yeah, Yeah, there's some weird genetics out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was this a video, to be sure?
Give me a sec. Okay, here's the connection. We're in a black hole, life, the universe, and everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's one point.
Mm-hmm.
Second point, this guy says, I saw 8-foot giants who are the warlords. All right. What's the connection between these two?
Yeah, what's the connection?
All right. One is bullshit. The other one is not so much bullshit. What is bullshit? The black hole. You see, if we were in the black hole for whatever scientific reason, whatever you want to call it, physics, hyper mathematics, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
we'd be dead.
Unless we're in the moment of time where we get crushed immediately. You know, that fraction of the moment, but it seems...
Yeah. Well, that moment takes a lot of how do you say, a lot to get to that moment.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't get to the finish line without crossing all these obstacles.
Mm-hmm.
What you just said is, yeah, what about that moment? Well, you have to cross all those obstacles to get to that moment.
Okay, maybe we already crossed those obstacles and we're in that moment.
I don't. See, that's just it. If those 8-foot giants exist and they're warlords,
yeah,
that means black holes do not exist.
Why does that mean black holes do not exist?
Because if black holes existed, matter that's in their immediate vicinity would be pulled in. What we're seeing is not black holes.
Okay.
It's doorways. It's okay. Put it this way.
So you're not really negating. You're just being nitpicky about the terminology.
Well, here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter whether you're physics, hyperphysics, quantum physics, whatever.
Right.
One thing is for certain, right? Is you punch a hole.
Uh-huh.
And on the other side is okay. You punch a hole in the door. Beyond that door,
right,
is a lot of water.
Okay.
So you punch the hole in that door, and water starts seeping through it. Right.
Okay.
We're on the other side of the door.
Okay.
We're in that water. We're in that vat of water.
Okay.
So, you're telling me black holes exist? No. What? Based on everything that all these super smart people have said, is a black hole is not really a black hole. It's a puncture. It's
Have you heard?
It's what do you call it? A doorway to the other side. What's the other side? I have no freaking idea.
Okay.
But it's the only thing that makes sense. Why?
Okay.
Because they say, "Oh, black hole, supermassive this and supermassive that, blah blah blah." I go, well, hold on a sec. If you took a whole bunch of stuff and you fed it to the black hole, at some point, that black hole will fill up.
Okay. So all I have to say,
all that matter that goes in there, there's a finite to matter, to the point where it becomes complete inert. Why? What's complete inert? It's where there's no space between particles, no space between the atoms, the quarks, and all that stuff. It's complete dense.
Okay.
Right? Well, if the black hole's sucking up all this matter, at a certain point, it should stop being a black hole, because you've got all this matter that is just packed in. So that matter would have plugged it up, so to speak, right? Or maybe it would have made a black a black star,
Mm-hmm.
which is basically one solid piece of packed body that has no active active particles, not quarks, not atoms, not electrons, nothing, because everything's packed so tightly. There's no space between the particles. Excuse me. So
okay,
in closing.
So those two stories are a little stretchy.
Oh no! See, that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
I just went through the black hole thing. Now let's talk about the 8-foot giants. All right.
They're there. Thank
Yeah.
you.
What do we know about 8-foot giants?
They're Nephilites. Thank you. It's in the Bible. Look it up.
Yeah. But what do we know about 8-foot giants?
You hit them in the forehead and they go down?
No.
What?
They're good fucking basketball players.
Okay, so they can be Yao Chow. Okay, gotcha.
So this guy here on Joe Rogan, yeah, we saw these 8-foot giants. They were, it's like, dude, you watch 8-foot giants run up and down a court every freaking basketball game. This is not something special.
It was special for him.
The way Joe Rogan's talking about it.
Don't take it away from the guy.
I took it away. All right, what's this?
Actor James Handy, 81, dead after brutal stabbing in California. Veteran actor James Handy, known for roles in Jumanji, Top Gun, Maverick, The Verdict, was stabbed multiple times in the chest outside a home in Los Angeles County. He was found unconscious, rushed to the hospital where he later passed away. Authority says the suspect is his son's girlfriend's son, who called 911 stating, "I just killed a man of sin." The suspect has been arrested.
Uh-oh.
So, let's see. Some of his thing was The Verdicts, 82, Hot Shots, K9, Arachnophobia, The Rocketeer, The Point of No Return, Jumanji, Unbreakable. He was the priest.
Oh yeah, the Rocketeer. He was one of the G-men.
Wooly, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. The gang. There was a scene at the end where the gangster guy, I forgot his name, looked over to the G guy, and then they continued firing on the Nazis.
Right. He was also in Logan and, as I mentioned, Top Gun Maverick. And then he's been a regular, or I guess special guest in a lot of TV shows. Some of them: Popeye Doyle, Maddox, Stingray, L.A. Law, Equal Justice.
The guy was just fucking talented.
Yeah. Murder, She Wrote, Quantum Leap, Melrose Place. Oh, he was also in a Young Indiana Jones Chronicle.
Wow.
Yep. X-File, The Pretender, Profiler, The Practice, ER, West Wing, The Dead Zone, Criminal Minds. I think his last one was 911 Felix. So, yeah. A man of sin, huh? A man of sin. Larry Connor, when Nicolas Cage was nervous about starring in Spider Noir, his friend Charlie Sheen gave him some incredible advice. Let's you know what? Instead of me reading it, let's listen.
How important the read-through is with the television powers that be. And Dan, one of the producers on the show, says, now listen, make sure you don't mumble when you go to that read-through. I was like, what's the big deal here? Why is this so intense? I've been to read-throughs a million times with movies. You know? No, we haven't closed it yet with Amazon. Don't mumble. I called my old friend who did a lot of television, Mr. Charlie Sheen. And I said, Charlie, I said, listen, Nick, I'm really busy. I'm writing my book right now. What's the issue? I go, well, look, you've done a lot of TV. I've never done TV. Yeah, okay, what's up? What's up, dude? What's up? And I said, well, I was just told, well, we're doing the big read-through. Oh, yeah, well, no, Nick, that's the hardest part. Man, that's the hardest part, man. I go, well, so what's the problem? I said, well, this producer said to me, don't mumble. And he said, I'm sorry, who told you not to mumble? I said, I don't know, I think his name's Dan. I'm sorry, is his last name Sony? No, well then tell him to fuck off.
Yeah. Amazon is greenlighting him because not for the producer because of Nicolas Cage. All right. Mythical parents fail or not? Punky Doodles. What's this, George?
I don't know.
Well, then why did he post it?
Because.
Imagine if your dad was a minotaur and your mom was a mermaid.
I don't know how that would work.
And you got the human half of both.
Oh, so kind of like the tall kid with two dwarf parents.
Yeah, continue.
No, you're just some guy.
Yeah, you know. I don't see. You know?
Yep.
Canadian tax expert, I crushed the CRA. All right, Canadian Revenue Agency has started telling big companies like Deloitte, one of Canada's largest accounting firm, that they cannot represent individual people. It says the same thing. It said the same thing. It said the same thing was said to me. That's poor writing. But then you're not really a writer. You're a tax person. It says this is a tactic to force people to deal directly with the CRA instead of having a representation. It says this is illegal and should be challenged with lawsuit and charges. You know what I say? Fuck you and see you in court.
Let's hear what he has to say.
I mean, he's going to say, fuck you, see you in court.
The Canada Revenue Agency is playing a very dirty game right now, Canada. You need to react to this. You've got to stop this dead in its tracks. What they told me is I can no longer represent my clients against them.
It sounds gibberish at this point. It's a short video.
All right.
Authority to dictate who can and who cannot act as legal agent for. The Canada Revenue Agency is playing a very dirty game right now, Canada. You need to react to this. You've got to stop this dead in its tracks. What they told me is that I can no longer represent my clients against them. They had no court order for that, and they have no authority to dictate who can and who could not act as legal agent for a client. Regardless, they're going to break the law because they choose to, and they are broke and they are desperate. And this is where it gets interesting and terrifying. They also are dealing with someone who just became a client of mine who was utilizing Deloitte as their accountant. Yeah, Deloitte. You know, the guys that work with major corporations like CN and Air Canada and the Canadian government. They are not even allowing Deloitte to represent people in taxes, meaning that they're telling all Canadians now that you cannot have a legal agent, you cannot have a lawyer, you cannot have an experienced accountant represent you, but instead you have to represent you, someone who does not know tax law. They're going directly to you now. You cannot let them get away with this. You have to file criminal charges for harassment, extortion, uttering threats, intimidation, and fraud. All of you've got to start this now. This is not going to get any better, Canada. When a corporation like the CRA is as broke as they are, they will pull out all the stops and they'll break every law imaginable until you, the Canadian public, do something about it. My $100 million lawsuit has already been transferred over to them. You're going to see it real soon publicly. But what are you going to do about it?
Get some popcorn. What's this?
This is Right Angle News Network. A Democrat in D.C. says she hates she's forced to admit that the reflecting pool looks good now.
I thought it was a stupid idea to paint the reflecting pool, but y'all, it looks good. It actually looks really good. Like, it makes the reflection look extraordinarily prominent in a way that it did not look before. And I hate that.
I hate that a Republican president did something that the Democrat president should have done.
Oh, geez, that's it?
Yes.
What would happen if there was a full-scale nuclear war between Russia and the United States? Based on non-classified data, the aftermath might go something like this. When one side launches nuclear missiles, the other side detects them and fires back before impact. U.S. submarine-launched ballistic missiles from west of Norway start striking Russia after about 10 minutes, and Russian ones from north of Canada start hitting the U.S. a few minutes later. The very first strikes are high-altitude EMP attacks, frying electronics and power grids by creating an electromagnetic pulse of tens of thousands of volts per meter. The next strikes target command and control, as well as nuclear launch facilities. Land-based intercontinental ballistic missiles take about half an hour to arrive. Major cities are targeted, both because they contain military facilities and to stymie the enemy's post-war recovery. Some cruise missiles take hours to reach their target. Each impact creates a fireball about as hot as the core of the sun, followed by a radioactive mushroom cloud. These intense explosions vaporize people nearby and cause fires and blindness further away. The fireball expansion then causes a blast wave that damages buildings, crushing nearby ones. The United Kingdom and France have nuclear capabilities and are obliged by NATO's Article 5 to defend the US. So Russia hits them too. Firestorms engulf many cities, where storm-level winds fan the flames, igniting anything that can burn, melting glass and some metals, and turning asphalt into flammable hot liquid. But the explosions, the electromagnetic pulse, and the radioactivity aren't the worst part. Nuclear winter is, caused by the black carbon smoke from the nuclear firestorms. The Hiroshima atomic bomb caused such a firestorm, but today's hydrogen bombs are much more powerful. A large city like Moscow, with almost 50 times more people, can create much more smoke. And a firestorm sends plumes of black smoke up into the stratosphere, far above any rain clouds that would otherwise wash out the smoke. This black smoke gets heated by sunlight, lofting it like a hot air balloon for up to a decade. High-altitude jet streams are so fast that it takes only a few days for the smoke to spread across much of the northern hemisphere. In the meantime, Earth gets freezing cold, even during the summer, with farmland in Kansas cooling by about 20 degrees centigrade or 40 degrees Fahrenheit, and other regions cooling almost twice as much. A recent scientific paper estimates that over 5 billion people could starve to death, including around 99% of those in the United States, Europe, Russia, and China. We obviously don't know how many people will survive a nuclear war. But if it's even remotely as bad as scientists think, then it has no winners, merely losers.
All right. Beautiful. All right. Thank you to Blonde Goth Girl. Thank you to Lurkers and Bots. Thank you to everybody else. George, what's your final thoughts?
Yep.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow for Saturday's news, followed by Sunday's movie. All right. Until then, bye.
I believe that together we can make America great again. I believe that together we can make America great again.